Go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome to episode 17, if we're counting, if anyone is counting, of this series of 2021 videos for the Mind and Muse Crafts podcast channel. And so, as you can see, I am co-hosting today with my old buddy, my old partner in crime for this channel. She's old, I am not. And she's been here for a couple of weeks. We've lost count. It hasn't been 2 weeks yet.
December 17th.
It's going to be, it'll be 2 weeks this Thursday. But anyway, she's been here for a couple of days, spending her Christmas vacation with us. And so, sure, I joined her to come celebrate with me the end of the year.
Hi, I am Elizabeth, Mom's youngest daughter, and I am Crochet Cakes. Yeah, that's me. You can follow me.
Yeah, if anybody is new to this podcast, or if you do not watch both of our podcasts, we at one time were a mother and daughter duo. Is it a duo duet?
I don't know, we still are. I haven't stopped being your daughter.
But we podcasted together.
We were presenters of the Crochet Cakes podcast. Right. And that started because I can never do anything in my life without injuring myself. And the same thing goes for crochet. So I had, I still do. That's like 3 years ago now that I've had problems with my shoulder because of crochet. But yeah. So that's when we started doing our thing, and then
we separated, and I became Mind and Muse Crafts.
That's because I moved.
And she stayed Crochet Cakes. In case you're not watching her, well, she is Crochet Cakes all over the internet.
All over.
So first of all, I am going to apologize because I did not produce the Vlogmas videos. Vlogmas videos that I wanted. We had talked about the possibility of creating, because life just got hectic at the end there. And at the end of December, I was burnt out from work and really excited because Elizabeth was coming to share Christmas with us. And so I just didn't look into finding the time to do the Vlogmas, because they take a lot of time out of your day, out of your...
Especially if you do them every day, because you figure you have to condense 24 hours into 5 minutes.
Or you need to find a theme for every day. Yeah. And then, well, it doesn't matter. Those are just excuses. I just decided not to do it because I wasn't in that mind frame. Yeah. But I did want to do one more podcast before the year ended, because I didn't, when a year comes to an end, you never know what's going to happen the next year. And just in case there's no more Mind and Muse on YouTube next year, I did want to end this year, share with you the projects that you saw that I started, and talk to you about the destiny of those projects that you never saw, didn't continue to see on this channel, and just share with you how we're going to end the year.
Some you haven't seen.
Yeah, well, yeah, the end of the year, so some of them you haven't seen because there were a couple of gifts. I didn't make all the gifts that I had planned on making. As a matter of fact, no socks were given. And, some socks were offered, but they never reached their recipients. Yeah. Because I couldn't be bothered with going to the post office.
I mean...
How rude of me, but it was very rude of me, but... Well, there were just all these different kinds of plans of when I would be returning to the States and with who and how. I thought I could take some gifts personally, and just it all got messed up. So Amazon did me the favor of delivering several gifts this end of the year. And they did it very well. I can't complain. All of the gifts that I purchased reached their destination before the 25th. Mm-hmm. And so some people even opened up their gifts before, which for me is just totally wrong. But as kids get older, they don't do what they're supposed to do anymore. So, normally I start this podcasts, these episodes, talking with my section called Walking the Talk, in which I present to you how I wear or go out onto my daily life, walk about with my crochet. So what I decided to do for this last episode was to step through the year with you and choose one project to represent each month and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, like the trend that's been going on.
There's a trend, right. There's a trend that I didn't know until Elizabeth told me this morning. But she says, and I do go into Instagram quite frequently, but she says that there's a trend. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it's the Kimbaloos. I think it's just 12 months of the year, and it's literally...
What's it called?
12 months of the months of the year.
No, but you said the
Kimbaloos, something like... Okay, I remember
that's
the artist.
That's the person who sings it?
Yeah,
okay.
It starts with and then it's followed by a K-I-M, and the rest I think I made it up, but you know, it's probably it just says these are the 12 months of the year. Are you ready? Here we go. And it just says January, February. It just states
I guess they figured that people would have a lot of use for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anybody can use it, honestly.
And so, how has it been shown on Instagram?
Well, the ones that I've seen it are mostly about craft blogs or food blogs. So they'll share a video or a snippet or a picture of either a recipe or a make, or I've even seen some car enthusiasts of like each a different picture of their car.
Of their car
for the year.
Okay.
So yeah, I've seen several of those, and I know you guys must have too. I know some people complain about how Instagram is just like all videos now. But I solved that by watching Instagram on my desktop. I just open the browser page and it's all still. They don't play unless you click play. So if that's something that annoys you, that's a little tip, end of the year tip. But yeah, that trend was fun.
So Elizabeth was preparing hers this morning.
Yeah, I was.
And she was having quite a bit of difficulty. So I decided that I would just do mine on my regular phone and present it to my YouTube viewers. And the Instagram viewers, well, they can just wait until I don't know.
They can watch your YouTube.
They can watch it on YouTube.
Because you can include links now on Instagram.
Oh. I go in every day and I'm so far behind. I don't know anything about... Really?
Yeah, because my end of the year goal was to end the year with 10,000 followers just so I could have access to the links. But Instagram was like, here you go, everybody. Here's the link feature.
Maybe for Christmas.
No minimum of subscribers or any followers.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so it appears, you know the little Giphy thing when you're going to post a story?
Mm-hmm.
This little square with a happy face?
I know you told me that earlier in the week, but I looked for it and it wasn't on mine.
I don't know.
Well, I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram.
Can't do that click thing about,
I think I have on Instagram the same amount of followers or subscribers that I have to YouTube. So they might be just the same people. But anyway, if you're interested in seeing one, you can see Elizabeth's summary of the year on Instagram on her feed. It's a reel.
Yeah, it's a reel.
And so, but I'm going to do it here for you. So I hope you enjoy. So let me tell you about how I tried to steer my crafting in the direction that I wanted it to go. January, Tunisian crochet. February, mystery sock crochet along. March, Hermione's everyday sock but toe up. April, crochet the Waldorf knit clam. May, RBG amigurumi. June, flower child crochet top. July, the eat cake sweater. August, the autumn breeze top. September, the diamonds are forever hat. October was all about Cruella crochet. November, the micro preemie turkey hat for my firstborn grandchild. And in December, La Garita found a new home. March, April, June, July, August. So welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed that one. A lot of effort goes into finding all those pictures. 12 12 months later to make sure you have them.
Yeah.
Some of them I didn't even have anymore because I've erased them from my telephone and I had to look them up on Instagram.
Yeah.
But
I guess we should be more organized and like at the end of every month just do a huge download of a file and put like October makes.
Actually, you can do that on the iPhone because it allows you to create albums now. So I just put all my photos that I wanted to appear in that sequence in there, and I didn't have to go running around after them. So anyway, moving on and then to what this year, the end of this year has been in terms of makes.
A mess. Oh my god. I'm kidding.
Which a little bit less because when you have people to share with, sometimes you don't always want to go off into your corner and craft because you want to spend time with them. So we've done a little bit of crafting together. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, one of us will fall asleep.
It's you. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been awake every day.
One of us will fall asleep. So we're together, but not. Anyway, but we have, while I was at Clarissa's, remember that I was at Clarissa's for Thanksgiving. And did we talk about that already? Yeah. I was able to share with you on the last podcast the bottom half of the Snoopy sweater.
It's not a sweater. I'm just spoiling it.
It started out, spoilers, it started out being a sweater.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then, oh, wait. As appropriate, my Snoopy, you get that? My Snoopy sweater was in my Snoopy bag that Clarissa gifted to me a while back.
I think.
Way back.
Yeah, like 2
no more.
No, I made it in the second year that we started podcasting. So
but you were here.
Mm-hmm.
So a long time ago. It was this big old bag.
Not that old.
I don't even know if I had started doing blankets yet at that time.
All I know is she made fun of the size, and now it's the more.
And now it's extremely useful because I do make a lot of big projects now.
For Christmas ages
and then
ago.
For Christmas, she also made me a notions pouch to accomplish. There were several things, but one of the things that she made for me was this notion pouch, so that now it goes inside my Snoopy bag. So it is yellow on the inside.
That's a finished object I never shared with you. Huh? I don't think I shared any of the sewn finished items in the podcast.
Oh, because you didn't. Yeah, you knew I was going to watch the podcast, and so you didn't want me to see it beforehand. So, but this was one of the things that she was hiding from you.
Not on purpose.
She also made me several mug rugs, but
oh dear,
this is a disaster. Okay, it was there we go. And so she made me a series of mug rugs that have Snoopy cartoons on them, and that's for my morning tea as a coaster, or there I'm decorating it under my, just to keep them close because I thought they were super cute.
Cameras here.
I thought they would have made beautiful pajamas.
But it's quilting cotton. It doesn't make good pajamas.
It's okay. I would have used it.
That's what they say.
It softens up. Anyway, back to Snoopy. Remember that I had made Snoopy on Stitch Fiddle, and since I am not very apt in Stitch Fiddle as of yet, most of what I take into it comes out really big. So, here's my really big Snoopy.
I'll hold it so you can talk about it.
There you go. He's complete from top to bottom. And as Elizabeth spoiled, it turned out to be a crochet tunic,
yes,
dress, something you can wear with dark tights.
It's a sweater dress.
It's a sweater dress. It reaches my knees, guys. It comes down to my knees.
And Mom's 5'6", so.
But we know why, because the back was single crocheted. But then when I went to do Snoopy on the front, I found that too much of the colors were coming through, and I was just stupid, and I didn't persevere with that and decided to switch to half double crochets. And when you make a half double crochet, very large, 64 row graph, you get this.
And you're using, she was using an
Worsted
8mm hook.
7.
Yeah,
8 for the back, and 7 for the front.
That's big. Like you.
But 8 at the back. Still, I had to add like 15 rows on the back when I was finished with this, so that they would reach.
Let's not focus on the negative. Let's focus
on the positive.
On this huge, gorgeous Snoopy. I mean,
I've already done the neck. Look at that neckline. Look at that neckline.
It's really nice.
It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. It's very sweet.
And I have started working on sleeves. Now, what's going to happen here most likely is that I'm going to run out of yarn.
Oh, no.
Most likely. So I probably might need to purchase more. I'm starting it from the bottom. I just decided to do front post, back post to match the neck. And wing it. It's a little tight.
Well, but
it's going to stretch.
The way to do that is just literally to keep measuring your arm, kind of like what I did for the
Well, the way that I did this, I had to have a chains first, and then front post, back post, double crochet into each chain. So if it didn't fit after I reached the end, like it happened a couple of times, I'd have to break it all back and add chains because I wasn't doing foundation crochet.
No, but
which is probably what I should have done.
The
first row, foundation double crochet.
What I was going to say was that if you just measure your wrist and you keep measuring, it kind of gives you an idea of how much you have to add. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just increasing every other row. 2 stitches.
That works.
I counted the stitches here. And I know how many stitches I need to reach for the top when I get up here.
Like if you look
and so I just decided if this has to be 15 inches.
But if you look
this has to be 15 inches, then.
If you look at your arm, you notice it's more or less the same thickness up until your elbow, and then it just kind of like flares out and gets wider. So,
but I didn't think I would have enough rows to increase if I started increasing at the elbow.
Well, you would have to increase evenly around, not just at the ends. So it would have to be like single crochet 3.
So I just decided to increase 2 on each row all the way up.
Yeah, I mean that's a way to go about it too.
I'm just doing 2 on each row all the way up.
The star of the show is this little dog who's changed perspective.
Of course. But I think the sleeve looks beautiful too. Let's see what happens. I don't have a lot of yarn left.
I think
how much yarn went into there?
You can weigh it.
Yeah, but I don't have that with me. I do know that I have 4 left. I have 200 grams left.
For the color work itself, I know you use less than 1 ball.
200 grams, and I had 500. So 300 grams have gone into that already.
That's not a lot.
No, it's probably more.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much I bought.
This feels really heavy, and for the last project that I made for December, which was the faded crochet sweater, I used 300 grams. And it doesn't.
But I'm only talking about the red, because this part in here used another, probably not even 100 grams of.
No, because I know you had half.
No, but they were 2. I don't know.
I
don't know. I stopped keeping track.
We'll weigh it. Mom will weigh it, and she'll get back to you on the hopefully next.
I'm just gonna say for now a lot.
It's heavy.
It's very
like
heavy.
Winter heavy.
But it's kind of acrylic, so it's not going to be like New Hampshire winter cold.
I think it will. You'd be surprised by how...
Layering?
Yeah.
It works?
Yeah.
But anyway, my son is moving away from New Hampshire, so I don't know if I will have the opportunity to actually use it in the cold.
I know, that's so rude.
It is. It's just, why did I make this big old thing? But anyway... We'll see. If nothing else, it will be a keepsake to sleep in. I'll put the air conditioning on 60 degrees and I'll sleep in it. That's what I'll do. So, yeah, I hope you are as impressed as I am.
Yeah, it really is.
Because it looks so much prettier on the camera than it does in person.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I think that with the camera, it kind of zooms out of all
She's selling herself short.
Details.
It looks really nice, and I tried it on. She tried it on, and actually it reaches a little bit above my knees because I'm taller than Mom.
I definitely made it wider than it needed to be.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a real super size. I think I could have done at least 10 stitches less on each side, and it still would have fit me because it is super big.
The reason is that you were trying to follow the stitch count for an already established sweater.
The reason is I used half double crochet instead of single crochet.
to.
So I had the measurement set out for single crochet.
Ah, well, there you go.
But then the half double crochet just threw it totally off.
It's still a nice sweater dress.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Well,
sweater.
it depends on who you ask. If you ask my husband, he said it was a sack.
But if you ask my husband, he said he was
He said, why you make a sack?
Pretty.
Why are you making a sack? What are you going to wear that sack
My
to?
husband said it was very pretty.
Yeah.
He was very impressed.
And so did my son. My son said he thought, wow, Mommy, that's nice. So I'm thinking about making a second one.
Oh, God.
But with a smaller hook.
Oh, God.
4 millimeter hook and 4 millimeter hook and just one gauge of yarn.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of making a hoodie.
I'm just admiring your persistence here because you finished one sweater dress and you're already thinking
want something
of...
I can wear.
Well, I told you...
This was super easy, guys. Except for the fact that following color work, you have to count your stitches a lot, make sure it's ending. But it's only single crochet and half double crochet, so they're not difficult at all. And back and forth. So I'm super happy with it, and I hope you guys are as happy about the fact that I'm ending the year. I still might end the year with this done. I don't know.
It's the 28th of December.
Well, I did all that in half an hour because I ripped it back 3 or 4 times. So that doesn't count. Now I don't have to rip it back. I wrote down what I did.
Oh, that's good.
So maybe. We'll see. But I won't be wearing this for New Year's. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe at 12 o'clock at night I'll be receiving 2022. Yeah.
You could just spend the night.
Up yours.
You know, it is 2022.
I know. What did I say?
Yeah, but 2022.
Okay. I'm not getting this, but 2022.
Yeah, so 2022. It's like the second part of 2020.
Part
2022.
Okay, so yeah. Make it work.
I never mind. I
didn't get that at all. Okay, so you want to share something you've been working on?
I brought 3 projects that you've only seen if you follow me on Instagram because I shared. I didn't think before we speak. Right, I didn't.
Get it out there, words, darling, words. Use your words.
So I didn't share them on the podcast because the last podcast was all about the gifts that I was making for other people, which I didn't finish any.
Which you didn't make?
Well, I finished yours. I just didn't share them. So I brought my Christmas cast on, which I started in November because I knew I was not going to start it in Christmas. And for that, I'm doing...
Nor were you going to finish it in Christmas. No.
Hey, I still got until the 6th of January. So, I started a pair of socks. And I literally mean a pair of socks because this is the Christmas yarn I got from Hobby. That is Hobii.
Excuse me. I swallowed yarn. Okay.
So this is the Christmas yarn I bought from Hobby, and that is Hobii. Follow them on Instagram. And this is the crochet version. I'm just working my Vintage Waves sock pattern. I wanted to try it with another self-striping yarn so that, you know, you guys could see that the pattern works for other self-striping yarn. Because this self-striping yarn I used originally was hand-dyed by Little Bean Loves, and it had a very short color change, which made it perfect for changing color every round. Here, as you can see, you get about 2 to 3 rounds per color change because these are very long color changes, but
it still looks glorious.
Yeah, and then I just split the yarn.
I don't know how it's going to feel though with that tinsel.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, to be honest, of tinsel in yarn. I rather like it when it says Lurex and it's got like the
glitter.
The glitter is already embedded in the yarn or spun in the yarn. It's not a separate strand of yarn because it does feel tinsel-y. but I love the colors.
So this is your pattern.
Yeah, that's my pattern. My toe, I designed that toe. This is a vintage stitch pattern, and I think I've only added 3 rounds on that one.
And you're using a 3mm hook?
I am using a 3mm hook and 48 stitch count. This sock pattern only had 48, 56, and 64 stitch counts, which, like I've said before and many times and written in like at least 5 blog posts, for crochet socks, stitch counts to me are more like guidelines, because you can have really short feet but very wide, so you might have to go with a 64 stitch count but not take it all the way in the length, and you know, vice versa. So I do a 48 stitch count because I have a very loose gauge, so 48 stitches works for me, and then I take my crochet sock down to about 5.75, depending on the stitch I'm using for the sock and the type of yarn that I'm using, because for other socks I have had to take my crochet sock down to 6.25. So it depends, you know, it's a lot of factors. Crochet socks are very special that way. If you design a sock for, say, this yarn, I can only guarantee 100% that it will work with that yarn. Doesn't mean you can't make it.
In your gauge.
In your gauge. It doesn't mean you can't make it. It just means you might have to do some alterations here and there.
I can never get Clarissa's gauge, so I always have to wing it with more stitches.
But the one that I've most worked on is actually this one. I split my yarn in half because I wanted to see how the yarn would work up in crochet and in knitting.
So you're going to make one sock crochet and one sock knitted?
No, I'm aiming for the pair.
The pair.
But, yeah, it might end up 1 and 1. I'm aiming for a pair, though. So you can see that you get a lot more rows in the knit sock than in the crochet sock. But I think they both worked out very nice.
Yeah, and
sorry, I covered my mouth.
It kind of like seems like the stripes are uniform.
Yeah.
They're the same thickness.
Yeah.
Whereas in the crochet,
yeah,
some are thin and some are thick.
Yeah, like this, I don't know. I think it's because when I started, it's where I had cut off. So
I guess it's also because these are the same stitches all the way around.
Mm-hmm. And this
goes increasing.
This has like a shell in the front and extended single crochet in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different stitch height, different
and
stitches.
It starts out
with a single crochet.
It doesn't increase. It's all the same.
It's all the same.
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got tangled up here.
Well, as we've said many times, crochet stitches and knit stitches are different.
Oh yeah, totally.
Their anatomy, their structure, their stretch, everything is different. So
this barely has stretch lengthwise. But yeah, you seeing that? This has a lot more stretch lengthwise. I mean, yeah, lengthwise. So yeah, knit stretches widthwise.
So there would be no reason for you to believe that using crochet and knit, the sock would be identical. It's just not going to work that way.
And also,
but they're still very pretty.
Yeah, but I was having a dilemma with it because I have a contrasting. I don't know if you can tell that red is different from the red.
Mm-hmm. But I think it looks good.
Oh yeah, but my dilemma was that I wanted to insert that red between the greens. And in order to do that, I would either have to do that here or here. Now I'm thinking because...
You mean for the heel?
Yeah, for the heel. I'm doing a crochet afterthought heel, and if you watch my podcast, I'm not going to assume you do, but lately I've been experimenting with cutting an afterthought heel and instead of knitting it, crocheting it. And so far, you know, it works up, it fits, it feels nice. So, dilemma. Either I have a pair of shorties, because I'll be inserting the heel here, or I have a longer leg than I'm used to and I insert the heel here.
In between the two greens?
Or after the two greens here.
And then you have a long ways to go.
No, I think I solved that dilemma by telling myself, which is very true, I don't have need of high socks because I live in Florida and it's just not that cold. So I decided I'm gonna just do a shorty and then insert the heel here.
Okay.
And that means I don't have a long ways to go
Right. for that first sock.
Yay! And so I'm basically knitting a tube. That means I think I have a. I'm not gonna say how.
And a magic loop.
Yes.
2.25.
2.25 Chiagu. They're one of my favorite for magic loop. My other ones are the Likey needles, driftwood. I really like those too. I don't know. I just like the feel. So yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Should we pause it?
No. We will move on and we will battle through all the Christmas noise that's around us.
Okay, so that is me. That's what I've been working on since the 17th of December when I got here.
So how much you have left of this? How much do you have left of the other one?
I haven't weighed it, but I think
Is this what you have left overall? Like there's no more?
No, this
And you're going to get 2 socks out of this?
I think so, because I did 50 grams, and people tend to do sock sets now with 50 grams and then minis. So I'd figured definitely have enough for the knit, and whatever I don't, since for crochet.
Well, you might find in your stash some minis that are of these colors, and you can just stick them in.
That's what I thought, but I'm confident I'll have enough.
Okay, cool. We'll see. Stay tuned to the crochetcakes.com or the Crochet Cakes channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
That works too.
Yeah, but I think I will because, contrasting heels. That's me.
And I have also spent the end of the year finishing off. Like I said, I made one gift, but it was needle felting and not crochet. So Clarissa had asked me, at one point I asked her, because I sent her a Christmas gift early in the year, and so I asked her, well, you're going to be home and I don't want you not to have something to open up on Christmas Day, so what can I make you? And Clarissa and I are really into making each other gifts, not purchasing them, not so much with my other children. But with Clarissa, I always feel good because I know I can make her something. And so she asked me for a mushroom.
I did.
And I looked up mushrooms, different mushrooms all over Pinterest and the internet in general, until I found a fairy house mushroom that I liked a lot. I actually saw a couple of them. But this one basically I made following the tutorial on the living felt on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and you do a search for the living felt, they have, they used to have one tutorial on every Wednesday at about 2 o'clock. It went live, and then they put it up on YouTube. And so they've got all kinds of things. They've got gnomes, they've got dolls, they've got paintings, they have wet felting, and they have mushrooms. And so I followed, it's a 2-part tutorial, and I followed it, and I have to say that I was very happy with the end result. I was running out of yarn, of core wool that they call it, because as I'll share with you in a moment, I was also making another gift that I didn't get to finish. So I was running out of this core wool, and I didn't know how large I could make it, because usually after you do the core wool, the mushroom, they cover it up with white wool.
Oh.
And so I decided that this color was okay, and I just left it like that. But I love the fairy door, and then the idea of the green that comes up from the little... What is this as a name? This is the...
Moss? Moss pad? Lily pad?
It's some type of pod. And it comes up from the pod, and it goes around the door. And then this flower...
Trellis? No, it's not a trellis.
Whatever it's called. Like
flower box.
Flower box would be... that would be the best term. And then the little...
Flowers.
Well, bunches. I don't really know if they're flowers or not, but I just
they're so cute.
I just winged those.
And then the door.
Yeah, and the window. And the window is yellow because it's supposed to have light in it, so you know that somebody is home.
I just loved it.
Is home. I love their idea of, they had several ideas for adding the gills at the bottom. A lot of time the gills are brown, but I didn't have any 100% wool brown yarn, so I just used a 100% white yarn that I had and just went back and forth from the middle to the edge, from the middle to the edge, from the middle, felting it as I went. So they're not sturdy felted, they're soft felted, and yeah, I'm happy with that. I am happy with that, with the way that turned out. And this one ultimately
will be attached.
You can see how I used different colors on the inside because I was going to run out of this. And so I made here, this does have a bit of wire on the inside that has been wrapped in wool first. And then you continue to wrap around it. And now this one, but you can get that whole thing from the tutorial. This one was meant to be felted to this pad, this lily pad. I guess a lily pad. Anyway, but I was just waiting to see if Elizabeth wanted it or not. Because then, if she doesn't want it felted, then she could just felt it herself when she gets home.
Why wouldn't I want
Well, I just thought for traveling.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if you had to put it away and...
I do have to put it in my carry-on, so it's easier to have two separate pieces. I mean, yeah. But I absolutely love this mushroom.
It does stand up. It's just wobbly on her hand. But,
yeah, because my hands are shaky.
Stand up. It would stand up.
My hands are shaky. But I just... What's not to love about this? And the top is orange with little like confetti spots, like sprinkles.
Thought about your Eat Cake sweater.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And I thought once I felt it, I'm gonna get some little people and maybe a little ladder.
At one point, I had the idea of felting like a bench where a little person could sit and all that.
Yeah, it's just so cute.
But that would have taken me a lot more time, and Elizabeth was coming home, and I didn't want her to see it, so.
Well, you did good. I never suspected.
Ultimately, it did take me about, I think, a whole day. A whole day where I did nothing else, because you're watching a tutorial, so you have to watch it first, try it out, go back again, and so you're running it back and forth, so.
I feel like this just serves corner shelf. And like a
well,
little
I didn't
village.
even know if she was going to like it, and ultimately because of the fact that the idea originally was to create like
a
terrarium with mushroom, a mushroom village inside a transparent vase.
But this is so cute.
I went with that because I liked it.
The head fairy.
And it had a tutorial.
The head fairy.
So I didn't have to think about anything myself.
It's gorgeous.
So I was needle felting towards the end of the year. And so
you do have another needle
that was one project. That one finished. The one I was supposed to finish but didn't was a needle felted Schnauzer. My daughter has a Schnauzer, and my older daughter, and I also asked her what I could make for her that she would actually like, and I gave her the option because at the beginning of the year, if you'll look at some of my previous podcasts, the podcast from the beginning of the year, some of my wish list makes. One of them were, I wanted to make an amigurumi for each of my daughters. And so as the end of the year approached, I was like, oh, I was seeing so many people do it. And I wanted to make it. And so I offered her an amigurumi of herself, or she had talked to me about making a Schnauzer, a pet sculpture of her Schnauzer. And there was a third thing. I don't remember what it was. But she chose the Schnauzer. So I am working on a Schnauzer that it does not look like a Schnauzer right now because it's in an initial core phase where you are creating the core, the outside core, trying to make it nice and hard so it will sit up. And then yesterday was kind of like working on the eyes, trying not to get them too creepy. But if you look from this point of view, it looks like a duck. Yeah. It looks like a duck. And I was trying to work on the under, what do they call that? The under...
Chin?
Yeah, I guess it's the chin, the bottom chin.
Well,
But it needs to be built up a little bit more because I'm also running out of yarn.
You can see wool. The details of the eyes starting to come in and you know how the mouth has the chaps that hang, and then she's gonna have a little beard.
The beard will cover up all my defects here at the bottom, so I'm not worrying about it too much. Schnauzers have long hair on their heads, and
and my sister's Schnauzer specifically.
Oh, well, I'll keep up a picture here of the Schnauzer I'm trying to make as we talk about this, so that you can see where I'm headed towards this.
So my sister's Schnauzer does sit weirdly, so that's what Mom's trying to create here, because
she kind of opens up this leg, but I had already felted it together, so I didn't open it up all the way, but she opens up this leg all the way. And so for this, I purchased on, was it Black Friday?
Yeah.
Udemy. I don't know if you've ever seen the service Udemy, where it's something like Domestika and what's the other one that Crafty Treats?
Crafty has.
Crafty, what Crafty used to be, Skillshare is, where they have courses for you to take, is the idea. And so Udemy was offering the course to make the sculptured Schnauzer, which was originally $40. They were offering it for $11.99. And so it has 10 hours of video, which obviously take you, like I said, a lot more than 10 hours because you watch it first once, and then you watch it while you try to do it. But you can't look at a tutorial and try and needle felt at the same time because you're going to prick your fingers to death. So you watch, turn it off, needle felt, go back, turn it on. And so going back and forth like that, it takes you a lot more than the 20 minutes that the video can take. But it's got 10 hours of video and all the details of how the designer is making the Schnauzer. And but you can use the core to make any kind of dog, really. I could turn this into a bulldog, or I could turn this into, the details are, at this moment, we start with the details of making, if you need big, thick legs, or you need a big Schnauzer with a lot of, what did you call the?
Beard.
The
chaps?
Yeah, the chops. Big fat chops.
Chops, not chaps.
Or chops. Or you need a really big head, whatever. At this point, you would start adding wool to create all those differences. So this will become a Schnauzer little by little. It does have wire in it, and so you start with a core body and all the wire goes around it to create the legs, and you needle felt over that wire that's at the top here, and then needle felt over the legs. You do the same thing for the back. You create this backbone, and then there's a wire that comes around here and creates the legs. And so you are needle felting over wire, but you're doing it little by little, and your needle is staying superficial, and therefore no fear of breaking your needle. Because you're not really digging in. You never dig into the wool when you needle felt. You just, the top. And either you go in this movement up and down, 90 degrees, or you go from side to side, always away from your fingers, because that pulls the wool together, and this movement pulls it together this way. Okay. And so the combination of movements allows this to come to life. And so, like I say, I don't look like a Schnauzer yet. And I'm very scared. And the reason it's taken me even longer is because I'm going turtle steps because I don't want to get to the face. I'm so afraid that I'm going to mess this up on the face because previous things that I've done, I've messed it up on the face.
Yeah, amigurumi or anything felted that has a face where you want them to have an expression, that's the hardest part.
Well, that's the hardest part. So I think that's why I kind of held off on the girls too, because I keep looking at people that are, like, we have to say professional at doing amigurumis, and how easy it seems in their videos for them to turn that yarn into a facial expression.
It's all
with eyes and eyelids and the eyelashes and pulling in the face a little bit underneath, a little bit of yarn, pulling it through to attach it in the front to make cheekbones. And I can't do that yet, guys.
Yeah, and plus it's hard because then you stuff it, and you might have done all those details to get it perfect,
and you lose it in the stuffing.
And you lose it in the stuffing. That's where when I make amigurumi, well, you guys...
It happens with this too, because you put the wool on it and you needle felt, and then all that looks fine. But when you have to build, have to build it up. So you have to add more, and you say, oh, I just messed up everything that I had that was looking so nice. But you have to build it up because it needs to. This also has weight in it. Once you make the the core body. So you've got the head, the wire for the head, you've got the wire for the legs, and then you've got the body. And then you make like a sack. Right? It's curved like this. You fill it with pellets, and then you needle felt that sack to the stomach.
That's so cool.
To create this. And it's heavy.
It is heavy.
Now, I didn't use pellets because I didn't want to go out and buy stuff. So I just used some stones, the little stones that you use inside the fish tanks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. They've been here since Elizabeth had a fish. And how long ago was that? 1,000 years? A long time ago. And so, but they're still good. They had a terrible smell to them, but wool absorbs odor, so they no longer smell like, they get like a smell like of dirt, wet musty, dirt, like a musty smell. But now it looks okay. It doesn't smell is what I mean. So it's got a little bit of weight to keep it standing up. And I don't know if I'll be able to share with you this anytime soon, but I just wanted you to let you know how my needle felting went towards the end of the year.
Yeah, because I think this is the first time this year that you've picked up your needle felting. You haven't been felting this year at all. Almost.
No, I didn't do any needle felting this year.
No.
I purchased kits and all that, but I didn't use them.
Oh yeah, you made a koala. Was that this year?
I don't remember if it's this year. No.
No, that was for the forest fires.
I think it was the previous year.
Oh, I don't know. Like
and that one we won't talk about the koala. I won't even show it because I never liked the face. But, and it was creepy doing a head. I found that creepy. And hanging a head on a keychain, I found that creepy. So, we'll see what this turns out to be. If anything, stay tuned to my Instagram and or maybe even my blog. I might put up a
So all the details will be in the description box right below this video that you can just click by saying show more and you can find everything.
The links, right? To the different tutorials that I have used will be there.
And to our Instagram accounts, to our blogs, any details like that, those will be in the description box below.
Right. So this is how we're ending the year. How are you ending the year? Are you going to go out with a blast like I'm going to try and do? No, I don't want to mess this up. But I am running out of wool, so I'm running out of core wool. So even if I can't give it all the details that she gives it in the core wool, I am going to start the hairy parts because I'm just going to run out and I don't think it's worth waiting for something to come in.
No, especially because then you have to do the details again in just the furry wool. So I think it's kind of...
Well, the furry wool is not as much details because it hangs.
Okay.
That's why she builds everything up in this one because it's cheaper. This is core wool. This is cheaper than the colored batting that you use. So, yeah. But I do have to put it in order because I don't have anything left. So... I think I upped my skills. I think I upped my skills with both of these projects, and I'm happy that I accepted the challenge. I just hope it turns out to be something that we all want to look at.
Well,
what? Oh. Yeah, I still got a problem with that right leg. So, well, this is us.
Yeah.
This is
not much else to say.
Right. Except we hope that you had a Merry Christmas if you celebrated.
Very Merry Christmas.
And
or Feliz Navidad. Or Joyeux Noel. Or Happy Yule. Or all the...
Happiness in all the phrases and the forms of the different types of celebrations that occur. And still we are awaiting the new year. 2022, as I've been told several times, you're witness to that.
So we hope it's not a repeat of 2020. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. 2020 part 2.
No,
so we had 2020 part 1, 2020 part 0, 2020 the remake, then 2022 or take 2 on 2020.
So does that mean we get to fix 2020? Is that what that means?
That means we get a second chance, actually a third chance, because first you live it, and then you relive it in
Hindsight.
2021. And now
Hindsight.
2022, we will use all the knowledge that we have gained in previous years to make this year a great year for you and for me.
And for the anti-human race.
Right. So, bye for now, guys. Take care of yourself. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself healthy.
Happy crafting.
Happy crafting. Bye for now.